Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're live on Project Cars 2 for PlayStation with the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. It's a 5-round series and tonight is round 2 and we're at Brands Hatch GP for round 2. So tonight's session we've got the difference with the two divisions that we first saw last week. So splitting up two different groups of drivers, and then we have actually changed it around. We did keep it at the sprint race format last time, so we've actually completely divided it up, so both sessions will actually see a main race. So they're heading over into 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather is overcast, and then Division 2 race is 22 laps. Weather is heavy cloud, and there is a mandatory pit. And then we'll have a break, and then head into the second session where we'll have Division 1. We'll have 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather is medium cloud, and the Division 1 race is 22 laps. Weather is medium cloud through to heavy cloud with a mandatory pit. And then the standings after round 1 in Division 2, we have Spray and Pay leading the championship with 148 points. And then in Division 1, DK1 Rush leading the championship with 150 points. And last week's round, we were at Zolder, where we saw Spray and Pray qualify second, take the victory, and score the fastest lap bonus points. And then in Division 1, we had DK Rush start this series off with a clean sweep, so getting off to a great start with 150 points for the championship. We'll quickly go over and look at the track as it loads in. Through in the United Kingdom for Brands Hatch GP. In-game session time is starting at 10 AM. Track length is 3.9 kilometers and there's 9 turns. There's going to be some very tight racing around here in these open-wheeled Formula Rookies. They're into pit lane now. Currently got 14 drivers in Division 2. We are missing one driver tonight. Good boy unable to make it. And we do have a couple of debuts tonight as well. We'll be wishing them all the best in their racing tonight. We'll jump over to them once they're on track. Hey Christian and Steph, thanks for joining the stream. Yes, it's going to be some very good battles tonight. We've got Ghost Madman 956 debuting with Apex Esports League tonight. And wish him all the luck out there in his first race with us. A little bit of a lag skip just evident there. Usually do see a little bit of that in the first lap, just as all the drivers are loading into the session. And then we also have Atomic Jet, who's debuting with us tonight. He's just gone off, I think it's at turn 3 where he's ran wide. Do let me know if all the audio is coming through nice and crisp. I did have some issues with the stream being rather quiet the week before. I did spend a week trying to get all those audio levels back up. So we did do a full refresh with our streams. I did actually play havoc a little bit with changing all of that. And we'll make our way down through the list. Track temps at the moment are going to be rather cool. The game session time being 10 AM in overcast conditions. There's going to be a fair bit of traction loss whilst they're out there. So we have MJY the Pretender, number 13. And we got Slappy Kiwi being able to get back in the series with us again. It's good to see him back out on track. Dan Boone, who debuted with us last week. Dan Boone currently sitting 9th in the championship. get in car number 17. Check yourself, car number 74 for Ghost Matt. Got a mouthful of a PSN there. I think we just missed one of the Dans. We've got two Dans. There's Dan Boone and Dan PS, man. Dan PS man running 10th, just in behind Dan Boone after last week's round. And of course our championship leader, Spray and Pray, after having a cracker of an opening round. And we see the same thing happen tonight. There was lots of exchanges between lap times between Spray and Corby. And having the pole position only just taken away on the last lap. Otherwise it would have been a clean sweep. And it would have been 2 clean sweeps out of both the divisions for round 1. We're seeing some very good consistency throughout the 2 divisions and all the drivers. A little bit loose there for Spray. Killer. Get some temp into those tyres in pit lane. In discussion with the drivers last week, they're actually using wet compound tyres during qualifying because they actually are a little bit more grippy, as it does take a fair few laps to get the temp up in the tyres in these cars. There's some very interesting strategies in tyre use, and it is full custom setups, so the drivers have full control on setting these cars up. Now Corby 387 with the quickest lap time at the moment. Oh no, this is being bumped down by Rooney. He set a 1:38.960. Rooney's just coming for 1:38.5. Have around, so we got Marky Mark. Simo Simsel. And we welcome Malarkey into Division 2's race. He was in Division 1 last week, but he does need to be able to take use of the earlier time slot. And then now that we're basically replicating each of the sessions, it's probably quite a good little way for those that can participate in the earlier sessions, or for those that may only be able to participate in the later session. It's going to be rather convenient for some. We do hope our drivers are enjoying the new format layout, and especially our viewers. And if you are joining us for the stream, don't forget to hit that follow button. I think we're very close to our 190 mark. We're getting excited to see that number creep up. And we had a great response to the start of our Project Cars series reviews last week. Nearly a couple hundred views. So it was a very good night indeed. And with what we saw, there's only going to be more intense action. These guys did not let up on each other the entire time. Balaki's qualified in with the second quickest time. He's 0.359 away from Rooney's time. What a slide coming around that final turn. And then hitting that follow button will also get you notified when we do go live. We've got more open wheeled racing action at the moment. We're running the Skip Barmula Formula 2000s on iRacing for Monday nights. And we're pretty excited to be hosting our first big event. It's hosting a Bathurst 1000 this Sunday. It starts at 8 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And we'll be covering 20 minutes of practice, 30 minutes of open qualifying, and then the full 161 laps around the mountain. So it's going to be some exciting action to see. And you can also check out our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Apex Esports League. And then that's all set to public, so you can actually go there and check out results, standings, and incident reports. As with our races, we do post-race stewarding. Drivers are held responsible for good, clean racing and sportsmanship. Any at-fault incidents are met with deductions from championship points. And then we've seen some spectacular, very tight, very clean racing from all our drivers. And then some very great sportsmanship. All drivers have got some times on the board. We've got 5.5 minutes remaining for qualifying. We're seeing a fair bit of changes around the top end of the standings. Bobby's taken pole with a 138.437. He's only just a tenth ahead of Rooney. And then we've got the Pretender 3 tenths away, Balaki 4 tenths. And about a half-second difference between Balaki and position 5, which is Spray and Pray. You get a little bit loose there in turn 9. That's probably going to cost him a little bit of speed, but he's got enough time to get a couple more laps in, but that was still quicker. So he's just bumped himself up into third position and still very loose through that first turn on Paddykill Bend. That was very loose. I think that would have been a pole setting time if he hadn't got loose on that last corner. Jump on board for a lap here. I think he's got some huge pace. Oh, we've had disconnect from Pretzelnator. He's trying to join in. That'll see 15 drivers. Oh, look at that. Balaki's just taken pole, a 138.3. Pretender also getting up towards the top. There's now only 0.006 difference in time. Look at the slide in that. He's pushing a huge amount of pace. We should be crossing the sector 2 line here. Let's see if he's up on his time. Only 0.087. It'll be enough to bump himself up a spot. That'll set him into position 4. That car seems to be very loose. There you go, and we got Mick and Dirty Monkey all in the chat. Thanks for joining the stream. Oh, we've just had someone go for a spin. Getting towards pit entry as well. You need to be cautious. Spinning out there, they can see. Oh, look, that Spray has just beaten his time. That was half a second off his previous. That's taken pole with 3 minutes remaining. Pole to be taken now. We're probably going to be seeing a 137 being set. There is nothing in between these times, so there's only 2 temps between Spray and Balaki. And we did see Spray get a little bit loose, so he still had much more in him there. He did lose out on a bit of speed. Could have been almost a tenth that he's lost. He's Balaki about to cross the line. He's in a bit of a slipstream here. Can this help improve his time? Doesn't improve, and then Pretender's just gone off and had his lap time invalidated. I wouldn't be surprised if it's also potentially done the next one, because it's completely spamming the race feed. If that is the case, that's going to be done for him. With only 2 minutes remaining, they're only going to get another 1 to 2 laps. We're going to have 11.6 seconds separating 14 drivers. 6 seconds separating the first 11. And the first 7 is only 1.8 seconds difference. When Pretzel did manage to get back in. He was very lucky. He was nearing the point of no return with this game. Once it reaches approximately 3 to 4 minutes left of qualifying, if you haven't actually loaded up into the session and gotten out onto the track, you won't actually see the grid. The Slappy has parked up the car, so that's him done. Ghost Mad just gone off, and it looked like a little bit of a lag skip. We were noticing that before. Yeah, some huge lag spikes. He doesn't want to suffer a disconnect now. That won't see him be able to start the race. It's not going to be the best way to start off your debut race with a disconnect just before the race. Oh, Pretzel, very quick around turn 1. He just loses it. So he's not going to have a chance to be able to get a hot lap in here. But he already has gotten in that short time of rejoining the session and setting a 1:39. So he's qualified in 6th. Spray's parked the car up, so that's him done for the session. We've got just over half the field still out on track. And there it is. Timing done for qualifying. 120 seconds remaining to get these last laps done. We have Balaki, Corby, Pretender on the top 4 and still out on track. Can they improve this lap? It's not going to take much to be able to steal that pole position. They only got to shave a couple of tenths off, and we've seen these guys getting rather loose in these very cool conditions. Just going to take a golden lap. A little bit loose. I think he saved it. Backed off a little bit. He's tucking in on another car, so it could be advantageous coming into the last corner and then down onto pit straight. Oh no, it mustn't have been a very good lap for him. He's bringing it in. Dan goes off, so that's going to have done his tap lap. Not sure if there's enough time for Killer. Wrap up, that may very well be AI running that car. Doesn't seem to be going flat stick. Have Marky Mark and Killer left. Not giving enough time for him to be able to wrap up the lap. So that's it. For qualifying for Division 2 in round 2, Spray and Pray maintains that pole position. So that's scoring himself 25 championship points for the pole position. So that's very good for him in his championship lead. So can he follow that good run into the 22 lap race and even get the fastest lap? He was very close to that clean sweep last week. He's only qualified in 2nd, with Corby stealing that pole on the last lap, so he managed to keep him at bay this week. So then also, I think after Spray we have Balaki, and then Corby, Pretender, Rooney, Pretzelnator, Dan Boone, Killer, Simo Simsel, Marky Mark, Dan PS Man, Slappy Kiwi, Atomic Jet, and Ghost Madman. And I think he may very well disconnect. We've got a strange one. It might be just the muting thing. I hope we haven't actually lost him. But over we go. Oh, we did lose someone. I think he may have disconnected. He's left the session. I think he may have made the mistake of hitting the X button. We had same issues last week with MSR at the end of practice and qualifying, showing that he left the session. And it is a little bit different when it's hosted, as I'm set as the race director, so I actually can't progress into the next session without hitting continue. And if any drivers hit their X button to usually continue on from when you are in your own sessions, it actually is already highlighting the return to menu button. So it's, if you do accidentally bump that button right at the end of that results screen, you will actually drop out. So that is very unfortunate for Ghost Madman for his debut tonight. Hopefully some better luck for him next week. The drivers have got a couple of minutes just to get their cars ready, so they need to make sure they have a pit strategy set, as it is mandatory pit, and then change over any setups that they may have if there's variation between the qualifying and race setups. And these cars are a lot of fun to tune with. You can notice a big difference while tinkering with these cars. There we are, drivers are all readied up. It's about to go green for round 2 at Brands Hatch. And we're underway. Spray gets off to a very good start. Blakey getting almost alongside with Corby, but he has snuck out ahead. It looks like a little good start. A little bit of contact between Corby and Pretender. That's just put Corby off, and he's trying to find his way back in after going off into the kitty litter at Paddock Hill Bend. He's now dropped down to the 12th position. That was too wide going down through turn 1. It was actually lucky that they only made rubber-to-rubber contact. They didn't interlock wheels. Corby Pretzel, I think, last week ended up having huge dramas interlocking. And Spray getting away nicely, but we have Volaki quickly closing down. The two of them seem to be pulling away from Pretender a bit. Pretzel now starting to close in on Pretender. And Rooney looking to go for an outside manoeuvre around Pretzel's car. Managed stuck in, he's going to be carrying a lot of speed. He may go for a move. We've already got a couple of slowdown penalties given out. Balaki's just been given one, so is Killer. Now that's a very close first lap. A lot of slide there from both Spray and Balaki. Both trying to carry as much speed as they can down through turn 1. Well, Pretender's just gone a little bit wide out of that corner. It's going to allow that gap between our 2 leaders and Pretender. And we can see Rooney and Pretzel starting to close that gap in on him. Bobby's still trying to make his way back up through. He's quickly closed down in on Killer. Looking for an opening to get around. Gets him on the back straight. Just brings that in. Very nice pass. A little bit of slip there. I think Pretzel's gone off. Done some damage to that nose. I think he just avoided some damage to the wheel. You can probably be able to just rub that one off. Should be fine. Look at the gap here between Balaki and Spray. Oh, is that a spin that's gone off, or has someone gone into the pits? That's Pretender. He's gone for a spin on turn 9. Straight down into pits. Pretzel also heading into the pits after that incident. He must have taken some damage. But then with the mandatory pit requirement, they might as well deal with any damage, especially this early on. Just serve that as their mandatory pit requirement. Oh, Balaki going for an inside move. And for all our newcomers joining the stream, don't be shy, jump in the chat. There's also a bunch of sound effects controls. You can cheer, applaud, boo, and all sorts of other fun sound effects. All those controls are down just underneath the stream, just depending on the device that you're on. I'm pretty sure it is available still on mobile. It doesn't cost you anything for that cheer. It's not the Bits cheer. It's just one of the extensions. Oh, Spray's just caved into the pressure from Balaki. A bit of a spin. He's taken some damage, I think. Let's see if that car is steering. It seems to be handling okay. Oh, very slippery for Balaki. And you can see a bit of glistening on the track. That's where we saw Pretender, I think, go off on the final corner down in towards the pits. He must have gone slightly off on the final corner, dropping that rear tyre off and then putting the spin. The drivers are going to have to be rather cautious, especially when they're getting rather loose in the tail around these corners as it is. That debris is going to make things a little bit more skatey. And track temperatures are going to be rather cool still. The game session time started at 10 AM. That's heavy cloud conditions. Balaki doing very well, leading the race here. He's got 3.7 seconds over Rooney. We will bring up timings and just see how much of a time penalty has been given to the drivers. Balaki's copped himself 2 seconds post-race. Corby also wearing 2, and he's moved up in the 3rd position. He's quickly moved up through the rung. Timo Sims wearing 1 second, and Killer wearing 2 seconds. The time second penalty is given to drivers for exceeding track limits and not abiding by a slowdown request or speeding in the pits. So we have currently Pretender in 13th position, Dan Boone in 12th, Killer in 11th position, Resonator in 10th, Buffy Kiwi in 9th, Atomic Jet. Oh, we've just had another spin. Not sure who that is. I don't know if they've taken damage. I think it was, yeah, it was Dan PS Man. I've seen him drop down some spots. Spray been in and pit as well, so he's now dropped down to 8th position. But he's only 34 seconds away from the race lead. And having pit, he's going to be able to recover a fair bit of time. There's probably going to be about 35 to 40 seconds estimated for a pit stop. And the drivers do not need to have anything done as the mandatory pit requirement. They can simply just drive in, stop, get the car lifted, drop it back down and head off. They do not need tyres, they do not need fuel. And look at Falaki, he's just furthering this gap. He's now got 4.9 seconds. It was just crept to 5. There's Mitch's hat in the corner and heaps of debris. Several cars having gone off on that final corner. And look at the lap time that Falaki just did that last time around, of 1:39.637. We're seeing almost qualifying times. And that's also Wilsey's out the front with no slipstream advantage. Boom, we've just had a retirement. We're down to 12 cars. And Corby recovered very nice. Ooh, lag skip as he comes down. And return 3. Looks like he just ran off track, but is actually him just lag skipping all over the track. Simo Simsel in 4th position. He's got a fair ways between himself and P3, who's Corby. Oh, got someone off track there. Waiting it out there. Letting the traffic go past. Gray in 6th position. Comic Jet in 7th. Dan Boone in 8th. Let's see who it was that was off track. So that was Killer, who was off track, just waiting for the traffic to go around. Clappy's in the pits. Doing well. With Falaki changing from Division 1 down to Division 2, he does start off on a clean slate of championship points. But if he can see himself take a win here tonight, that's going to be making up for losing those points that he earned in Division 1 last week. And it will be a first win of Apex eSports League. So it's going to be pretty exciting if we can see Falaki take the checkers home. And in our 2 divisions, by no means is it really a difference in skill level. We've got very quick guys in all the divisions. That's just showing the caliber of the driving skill that we've got from our members. They are very close. It's great to see. It gives us plenty of action to us watch. We must have had Corby go off track, because it took a little while for the camera to go over when we've just had another retirement. We're going to keep up with ones that are dropping off. Simo a little bit loose through turn 1, but he recovers that car. He did have a little bit of a safety net between himself and Marky Mark. But starting to close in, he's only 4 seconds away now. Look at Spray putting some big pressure on Mark. He's looking for an opening to get around. positioning himself for an inside pass. He's gotten up and around. He's going to have to shave off that speed, but he quickly moves back to the racing line. Round nice and quickly. Did not lose any pace, so he can keep that momentum going. So he's now got Simo only 3 seconds ahead of him. He can make his way back up that rung again, and he has pit. So he needs to try and... Oh, there's some contact between Mikey Mark and Simo. I think Mark ran slightly wide off the corner as Simo was turning around on the grass. He seemed to have backed off a bit on speed. He may be dealing with a bit of damage. I think that wheel did actually run up over the other wheel. Oh, hey Slappy, yes, you're in the chat, so it's you that we've lost in the session. Mikey Mike and Simo both going in. Blakey now a 6.6 second lead over Rooney. His last lap around, another 139. Very quick 139. And then Rooney setting a 140.5. And Simo's just been released. Looks like Marky Mark shouldn't be too far off being released from the pit. Corby's here to put some pressure on Rooney now. Corby has quickly closed in. His last lap of 138. Rooney's also picked up that pace, setting a 139. Spray did lose out a little bit. That was a 140 lap. And Mick Clifford fought that out. He lost a few seconds. That's no good. Slappy. So for those that don't have the chat for the stream, Slappy had to retire out. He went to the pits to repair after going too fast for a corner. And then went back to the pit to repair, and the pit did nothing to help. There's some issues with the pit stop. Having to retire out. Bobby quickly closing in. These cars really being thrown around these corners. The tails sliding out. And the move that Corby's going on Rooney. Not enough to get around. They're nearly side by side. He slightly put Rooney off. I think he thought that Corby was going to get up long inside of him. Now they're side by side. Almost a tandem drift going around turn one. They're carrying a massive amount of speed. I think Rooney just ended up giving that position to Corby. I don't think he was going to fight him too much. He just saw how much pace was there. It probably wasn't worth to get involved in an incident, as they will need to head in and pit at some stage. We're at the halfway point, so it's lap 11 of 22. We have a battle going on at the moment. Position 8, almost position 7. Tender and Dan, PS Man, getting amongst it now, side by side, down the back straight. Tender just gets ahead of him. Brilliant pass. They now have Simo Symbol just up ahead. We have Atomic Jet, our debut tonight. It's currently in 6th position. could Balaki start to be in trouble? That gap between him and P2 has significantly reduced. He was getting about 6 seconds on Rooney. Now Corby's gotten past. He's now got that gap down to 4.3 seconds. Both of them are wearing time second penalties. 2 seconds will be applied to finish time for Balaki and 3 seconds to Corby. At least there is that extra 1 second difference between the two, so that is in favour for Balaki. Even if you can hold Corby at bay right towards the end, even letting him just sneak ahead as long as he holds that 1 second gap, he'll be able to take the victory. Oh, he just had a spin go off. I think that's Balaki. He's now dropped down into second place. It's probably going to be a prime opportunity to actually get in and pit now. Take advantage of having gone off, especially if he's taken any damage. If there's any aero done to the front of that car, they do see a huge drop in speed. Dan just going off. He was nice and close with Simo. And there, in goes Balaki. He does add that to his strategy. Wonder if he's going to add some fuel in at all. Those cars are getting very slippery in the tail, so I don't know if a little bit of extra fuel might plant the car a bit. We'll see if he comes out with more than 10.2 litres. Kept that, so it may have just been a set of rubber. Now drop down into third position. That's advantageous for Spray, as he has already been in and pit, having pit early after that incident. I think he did modify his pit strategy to be able to last out the remainder of the race after having come in early. He's going to be in a good position to be able to reclaim even possibly the lead. He's probably going to come out pretty close to Corby. Corby's coming in now, so this is going to be a race in pit lane. Bray needs to try and get across the control line as fast as possible now. He's got 30 seconds to make up. We've been seeing about 35 to 40 seconds for a pit stop. Got about a 36-second gap between himself and Corby. That's a very quick pit stop for Corby. He's away. Corby's definitely going to be coming out and still maintaining that race lead. There he is out. Down for turn one now. So that's a 15-second gap now. But it can still go wrong. We get a little bit sketchy out there for Corby. The first couple of laps coming back out, probably going to be a little bit off pace. Spray's been out there for quite some time. He's going to have a heap of temp in those tyres. Should be able to see some quick lap times if he can stay focused. He's quickly recovered. Oh no, he goes out wide, but I think that may have been a little bit of lag. Okay. Guys. Balaki already looking to get that position back and does so easily. No, that wasn't spray, sorry, that's some lap traffic. Wasn't Spray's car. We got round quickly there. Abiding by the blue flag shown to him. To get around very quickly. More lap traffic. That's Atomic Jet's car. A lot of drift coming down for that final corner. And slightly off the line to Spray. Try and follow that same line so you can start to see that slipstream just pull him in. Oh, Spray gets loose and that slightly puts off Balaki. I thought he was almost going to try and have to avoid an incident. That put him into a lock. Worries, Mick, we'll see you soon. Our race leader on lap 15 is Corby. He's got 15.3 seconds over Spray. He's going to be feeling some huge pressure here from Balaki. Our race leaders have been in a pit. They will just be battling it out to the checkered flag now. Spray loses a lot of speed in turn 8. Balaki's going to go up for an inside move through turn 9. He's going to have to shave some speed off to be able to maintain that, so he had to pull back and yield. And that's cost him a fair bit of time. They were very similarly matched for lap time. That lap around, like he's slightly getting offline, looking for an opening, costing him about 3 tenths on that lap. Slides down for turn 3. Got Marky Mark and Dan PS Man battling it out for position 8. Marky Mark's gone for an inside move. Got a little bit loose. He had a bit too much speed for that tighter line. Also got Killer and Atomic Jet battling for position 10. Got battles all over the place here. And there is that little bit of a safety net with Spray, as Balaki does have that post-race time penalty. Probably had a few seconds, but he's got a good 14.2 second lead over P2. Like Balaki, maybe dropping off pace a little bit here. Spray setting a 138.7, Balaki 142.7. Much quicker down through turn 1. It's a very nice line through turn 2. Almost touched wheels. Was there contact there? They nearly both just followed each other off track. Balaki's going to be in a good position to get a move on him. He's going to have a very nice line as he goes up the hill into sector 2. Oh, and look at the time second penalties. Corby is actually wearing 13 seconds, so it looks like he has sped through the pits. Balaki's got 4 seconds, so this is looking incredibly good for Spray and Pray. We're lap 17 on 20, so that's 5 laps to go. The current gap on the race is 16.8 seconds, but with 14 seconds added to Corby's time, that's closed down. With Balaki also wearing time penalty, all Spray's got to do is just climb up a couple of seconds, and he could potentially steal 2 spots away, even with crossing in 3rd position. Could we potentially see a little bit of teamwork here from Balaki and Spray and Pray, as they can both improve their positions here just by closing that gap in on Corby. Well, Simo just runs off wide in turn 3. Cost him some pace. I think that's Balaki that's going to get around now. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. And we just had to tuck back in. Don't want to get caught up in an incident here. They don't want to be slowed down too much. Both Balaki and Spray get around Simo. They didn't lose too much pace. And they got another lapped car up ahead. They can try and close that in and get that slipstream. They'll be able to possibly gain a few extra seconds. Oh, Spray's just gone loose. He's nearly gone off track. He was starting to head off into that wall. Things could have gone very bad. Balaki a little bit slippery. There's only 4.9 litres of fuel left in that car. That car's going to start getting very slippery. Look at the two drift down through turn 1. So they're now 14.7 seconds away from Corby. He's got that 14-second time penalty. That's only 6 tenths away from the race lead at this stage, with 3 laps to go. As we're coming up into the last laps, we'll quickly make our way through the current standings. On lap 17 we have Dan in position 11, McJet on lap 18 in position 10, Marky Mark lap 18 and he's in 9th position. He's a couple seconds away from Killer. And in 7th we have Simo Simzel. So on lap 18 we've got the Pretender. So on lap 18 and he's got some damage to that car. Bearing over the front there is gone. He slows right down to let the guys through. Balaki and Spray get through quickly and cleanly. And up in 5th position we have Dan Boone. And Rooney in position 4 is currently 52 seconds behind the race lead. And in 3rd position is Spray and Pray. Balaki in position 2, and these two have been at each other for quite a fair few laps. And look at that gap now. Balaki's catching on Corby. He's got it down to 14.1, and that did just sneak up to 14.5. It's teetering back down to 14. Balaki, sorry, it's Corby's got a 13-second time penalty at 14. Balaki's wearing 4. Balaki has a little bit to try and catch up to get that win. but with Spray not having any post-race time penalties, he can get that gap in. Corby within 13 seconds over these last 2 laps will be his win. See, just he's got the fastest lap of the race at this stage. Corby looking good with 1:37.999. We also have Balarki with 1:37.288. And Spray at 1:37.522. So the fastest lap of the race currently going to Balarki. Balarki's had some amazing pace tonight. Spray ran into some problems. He must have gone for a slide. He's dropped down a fair bit. We're now coming on to lap 21. Dan Burn's just gone off. We're starting to close in on Simo. Has just gone off. It looks like it's allowed Marky Mark to move up a position. And here comes Corby, ready to come onto the last turn of the second last lap. Ready to cross the line. We'll be seeing the white flag. Now on the final lap. To Corby to recover as much as he did after being involved in the incident on lap 1. Then running into lots of bad luck last week. Going off early and then getting tangled in a hefty incident. Still managed to reclaim defy positions. Balarki looking pretty set for a good podium finish. Spray still pretty safe. He's got 19 seconds between himself and Rooney. Well, Simo's just gone off track. I think we may have lost another driver. Dan Boone in pitting. He's currently on lap 20. Ooh, a little bit loose there for Corby. Second last corner on the last lap. Binning it there could have potentially seen a huge loss. And here he comes. Bring the checkers home for round 2 of the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. Congratulations to Corby. Takes the win. He's got that 13-second penalty. But Balarki also wearing a 4-second penalty. That sees him take position 2 on the podium. The gap ends up changing to 9 seconds with those post-race time penalties. Brain Prey in 3rd. And that's still going to be a good result for his championship lead. Corby didn't finish as strong last week, and Balarki starting on 0 points for tonight's round. Congratulations to Spray on the podium, so we'll be inviting Corby, Balarki and Spray in for an interview at the end of this. Rooney losing it in the second last corner. Having a little bit of fun with the car at the moment. finishing it up because he's got a bit of a gap. He's got about a minute gap. He can afford to play around with that car. He crosses the line in 4th position. I think Contender has already crossed. He's run in 5th position. Like Simo, also the same in 6th position. There's 37 seconds remaining to get last laps done. Marky in 7th. Killer in 8th. Atomic Jet debuting tonight with us. Takes 9th position. Dan Boone parked the car up. Is in 10th position. And then we have Dan PS Man in 11th. In a few seconds we'll see the results screen come up, and then we'll interview Corby, Bolaki and Spray, and then we'll be having a quick break as we get geared up for Division 1. We've got 15 minutes of qualifying and another 22 lap race. And there's our race results for Division 2 for round 2. At GP, Corby 387 takes the win. And also on the podium is Bolaki in position 2 and Spray and Pray in 3rd position. And it looks like the fastest lap of the race goes to Bolaki, and the rest of our standing. And Rooney, Pretender, Simo Simsel, Marky Mark, Killer, Atomic Jet, Dan Boone, Dan PS Man, Pretzelinator, and we did have from Ghost Madman before starting out. Pretzelinator retiring, also Slappy having to retire out as well, so unfortunate, and Pretzel retiring out on lap 4. So we'll have Corby, Bolaki and Spray in the chat in just a moment. Taking its time to load through. We should see them joining in just a moment. Yeah, that's right, Steph. It was a shame for that spin in those last couple of laps. It was going to be very close. We've got Spray joining in, we've got Bolaki, we should have Corby in a moment. Here we are, we got our podium finishes. Congratulations, Corby.
Thanks, mate.
That's Corby.
It was almost getting pretty sketchy with that 13-second time penalty.
Yeah, I think I got that in pit lane on the entry. I kind of cut around some lines, or maybe I was over speed, but I didn't think I was.
Yeah, we saw only the few seconds early on, and after that pit stop, climbed to 13, and then with Spray bringing that gap down to nearly 14 seconds in those last couple of laps, and with Bolaki wearing the 4-second penalty, he's almost going to be able to take a couple of positions away.
Yeah, it was a time trial to the end there, and yeah, once I realised I had 13, I didn't know for a couple of laps, and then I looked at it and went, uh-oh.
That safety net gone. And well done, Bolaki too, position 2, mate, and then leading the race for a good portion and putting a huge gap on the field as well. And then some great intense battles between yourself and Spray.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Great to see, well done. And is it your first podium with us, I think, too?
Second.
Second, yep, that's the way. So almost seeing it at the top of it. Maybe next week we'll see you standing at the top spot.
Hopefully.
Alright,
and well done, Spray. Doing very well, taking the podium, and it still will hold well for the championship lead as well.
Yeah, thanks, JT. It's a shame I couldn't be consistent, but yeah, it was an awesome race.
Yep. And then well done, Bolaki, also getting fastest lap of the race too at 1:37.288.
Thanks for Spray.
Yeah, well, what can I say, mate? Stick behind me.
Well, you get the draft, were you?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, that would have been on the first lap, I reckon.
Yep, at the start.
Yeah, we were going pretty quick.
Well done. Yeah, congrats, guys.
Yeah,
going to be great
seeing
thing is battle it out again next week.
Yeah, can't wait, mate.
Can't wait.
Forward to it.
Especially Sugo, it's great in these cars around there.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, congratulations, and then we'll see you next week.
Thanks, JT.
Thank you.
Thanks for tonight.
No worries. There we have our podium finishes for Division 2. Corby 387 taking the victory. Balaki in position 2 and Spray and Pray in third position. And Balaki taking the fastest lap bonus points, an extra 5 points going his way. So do stay tuned. We'll be back in about 10 minutes as we get set up for Division 1. So we'll be heading over into another 15 minutes of qualifying and then a 22 lap race with Division 2. Will be slightly different weather conditions and it still will be a mandatory pit. So stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly. And welcome back to session 2 for round 2 of the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. We did just have Division 2 put on a fantastic show for the first session over the course of 22 laps, having some great battles between Balaki and Spray and Pray, and then also Corby taking the win, and then only just scraping in with a heavy post-race time penalty being applied. So he did still manage to keep that victory. So we are at the UK. Track length is 3.9 kilometres and there's 9 turns around the track. And if anything is go by for the first session, we're going to be still in for some great tight racing here. The second group. And we have DK Rush that's leading the championship for the Division 1. Starting off with a clean sweep. So can DK replicate last week's efforts? It's going to put him in a great position to get the lead on the championship. Oh no, there's a grid place penalty being given out to Doggy Daddy. That's one grid place. He's just sped in the pits. Very unfortunate for Doggy Daddy there. It is manual controls for our pits. So the drivers do have to find their pit bait. And then if they set a pit limiter button, they do have to remember to push it. Otherwise, it will not actually limit the car that's in the pit lane. So, a handy feature of this game, if you are prone at forgetting to do so, not assigning a button will actually allow the game to automatically turn the pit limiter on and off at the entrance and exit. Just had a car dragging one of the braking markers around. But even with the auto pit limiter, the drivers do need to be cautious on approach in the pit lane, as if they're coming in too quick, they still can see themselves cop a grid place penalty or a DQ. Or a hefty time penalty, which we saw happen with Corby. I'm pretty sure might have happened just on approach. There's a hefty amount of speeding. Usually sees a 20-second penalty added, and then just for a little bit of speed over on entry, usually sees 10 seconds added. So that's what I think did just occur in the Division 2 race just before. And talking to our drivers from Division 1 in the break, we're all mentioning they didn't get much practice in during the time of the first session, as they were glued to the stream watching the battles that were going on. I think they're feeling a little bit under pressure here to put on a fantastic show as well. There's going to be some great racing tonight. It's been some fantastic battles in this series, and since we're only just up to round 2, we're off to a great start. Whereas got the first time in a 146.7, and it was chaos for Division 1 on the first lap. We didn't even get to turn 1 without at least 5 cars being caught up in an incident. Here we go. More first times coming through, some very good first times. 137.6 is Philly taking pole. DK also in the 137s. Only 0.027 difference between the two. Pagnian with 139. Gallen also joining in the 139s. Mick Cliff just bumps up into third with a 138. nice and broad through turn 1 there. Setting a 1:43. Doggy Daddy gets time on. Qualifying in 10th. 1:47, and he's got that grid place penalty. Head Farmer and Vortex get a time on the board. And seeing in the race feed that Head Farmer did go off track, so it invalidated his lap. So it could potentially have invalidated the following lap as well. So I think it did come up around the last corner. He didn't take any damage. It's not worth bringing that car in. It's just under 10 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. And it does take a few laps to get temp up in these tyres. Game session time a little bit different from that of Division 2. Qualifying in Division 2 was 10 AM. The game session time is actually 1 PM. And weather conditions have changed, where it was overcast conditions for the first session. There is only medium cloud cover. Track temperatures will be a little bit higher for Division 1's race. And the change of our race formats, we did just actually keep weather conditions that were set for the sprint race. That just scrapped the practice session from session 1. And we did increase the qualifying in round 1 for Division 1. Hence they won't be getting a practice session, so it's now just even between the two, 15 minutes for qualifying and then the same amount of laps. I think that is working out rather nicely. We're seeing some great action. Let's see what these guys can do in Division 1 tonight. A little bit loose. He's taken the pole with a 1:36.9. Don't forget, if you are just joining us for the stream, do hit that follow button. Yeah, over the moon if you can see that follower count at the 190 mark at the end of tonight. And there goes DK taking the pole. A lot of speed down through Paddykill Bend. And by hitting that follow button, you will be notified when we go live. We have Project Cars 2 live streamed on Twitch on Thursday night, 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And we have iRacing on Monday nights at the same time. It's more open-wheeled action at the moment, so it's in the Skip Barbers. And we've seen some fantastic racing in amongst there. And then if you're up for some great Supercars action on the weekend, we will be live 8 AM on Sunday, 6th of Feb, with our very first Bathurst 1000. We've only done endurance events with Project Cars 2 so far, and we've simulated that just because we don't have the driver swap feature in the game. See a good size teams heading out to battle around the mountain on Sunday. We'll be starting off at the 8 AM with 20 minutes of practice, then we've got 30 minutes of qualifying, and then we'll be starting the 161 lap to do the 1000 Ks around Bathurst Mount Panorama. That is even with live race control, so we'll be replicating real deal racing out there. Stay tuned for that. And we do run a different series in all our championships. So we generally run 5-week series. Each round each week. And then we change over to a different class of car. We will be jumping over into the Porsches for the next series. They're just starting off the 2022 season with some open wheel racing. Yes, Balaki, Gellin does need to get it on there, on the podium for a podium. And both years take a podium finish would be great. And well, DK improve this time, so there's 4.5 minutes remaining. Just make our way through this list while there sometimes our head time still hasn't got a lap in. Fastest lap is DK 1:36.169. He improved his lap time. We've got Vortex 12 quickers. It's landing 1:47, so there's 11 seconds separating the field. Doggy Daddy in 11th, and he's got that grid place penalty, so that'll bump him down a spot. So he needs to try and get a little bit more time out of the car. He's got about 3-second difference between himself and 10th position. And Steph currently holding in 10th. Dirty Monkey in 9th. He's only 3.7 seconds away from that pole setting time, so it's still a very quick time. Rear gets very broad down through turn 1. He's carrying a lot of speed. He's set at 1:38.917. And seeing him in 8th position. Well, Coco Dog's just been out, so he's not going to have much time to try and get out. That's probably only going to see him get one lap in. Darby's qualified 6th. He's got someone tucked in. Nice and close behind, getting a little bit of slipstream advantage. So we have Mick Lift qualifying in 5th position. And Vortex improved, moving up into 4th. Vortex did debut with us last week. We also had Christian debut with us last week. So it's great seeing all the newcomers to the league. Hope they are enjoying their time racing with us. Look forward to seeing them progress through all the different championships. The Vortex qualifying with 1:37.705. Only 3 tenths away from Philly's time. Won't take much to shave off to improve that position. Oh, just had Sami bump down. Then our Christian has gone down to 4th. Philly now into 5th. Will Philly improve his lap time? We'll jump on board for a lap around with the driver in second 2. Doesn't improve that time. Well, that's just cost it for Sami. Pass is going off, so he's going to have enough time to get another lap in. And we've got Gallon qualifying in 2nd position. DK pole, and I think we might jump on board. Where is he? No, he's jump on board with Gallon because he's just about to start a full lap, so we've only got enough time to get one more lap in. A lot of drifting going down through turn 1. It's a very tricky corner with the crest, and turn 2 also not so easy, especially that curb. Put that car into a slide, a lot of tyre squeal as he goes around turn 2, and needing to use curb to curb here through turn 3. Can run out rather wide on that exit curb. And long left-hand turn 4 up through the hill. Cautious not to understeer your way out and off towards the wall there. As soon as you drop a little bit off on the dirt, that's done for. And down through the back straight. Very quick sector. You can use a lot of speed to be carried through those. You can use as much curve as you can get here. It actually helps you down through the corner, but it's just causing some dramas. We've probably done the commentator's curse. Oh, recovered that car reasonably okay. But it's done him for the lap. I don't know if he's taken any damage. He'll still able to at least take us around for a lap. Just moving out of the way for the remaining cars. Down through turn 8. Can get a lot of curb there to carry a lot of speed. Down through the final turn. And catch a lot of drivers off guard. Does tend to want to slide out. And then a bit lost there coming onto that pit entry. There he brings that car in. DK also bringing the car back into the pits. He's holding pole position with 136, 169, a lot of lock there. Trail braking through turn 9. Will Christian improve his time here? There's 56 seconds remaining to get last lap done. Doesn't improve that, so he keeps that position. We're still out on track. We have Mick, Head Farmer, Coco Dog still out on track. The Head Farmer more luck in getting a time on the board. Setting a 1:38. There we have qualifying done for Division 1 in round 2. DK Rush continuing the commencement of potential 2 clean sweeps. He takes pole in round 2. He had the clean sweep last week. Can he replicate that in the race and continue that streak and then stream ahead on the championship? So also starting from the front end, we have Gallon 350 in second and Sami in third. And then the rest of the grid is Christian, Philly, Manili, Mick Cliff, Ruda Jury, Vortex, Head Farmer, Coco Dog, Dirty Monkey. We've got Doggy Daddy, he's got that grid place penalty, so he moves down into 13th position. So that'll see Steph start from position 12. So we'll head over onto the grid now. Hopefully no one accidentally hitting a button and dropping themselves out of the session. We unfortunately saw with Ghost Madman in the first session tonight. While you join us for the stream, do check out our social media links down at the bottom of the stream. So we've got our Facebook page, that's where we post all our results and standings, and then after we've done the post-race stewarding and done up the incident report, we'll post that along with the results so you can see the outcome of any incidents that have occurred during the races that you've watched, so you can then track how your favourite driver is doing. And then we've also got a YouTube channel, bit.ly/ApexESL. It is case sensitive. Otherwise that link won't work. It's not some sort of dodgy link. It is actually just a bit.ly link to be able to shorten URLs, as you need to have an insane subscriber count to be able to have an actual shortened link on YouTube. So we do just use YouTube to store all our past broadcasts, as we don't get to keep all the streams on Twitch. So once we broadcast them live, they are then uploaded over to YouTube. So there is lots of racing action there. There's lots of playlists you can go back through and see how our drivers have done in previous championships. And don't forget to use those sound effects controls underneath the stream as well, so that way you can cheer and applaud, boo, or a bunch of other fun sound effects, and that will actually play over the stream. So drivers all hit ready. It's about to see the lights go green for the last time tonight. Division 1 in round 2. And we're away. A little bit of a delayed start by, I'm not sure whose car that was. I think that was Gallant. Delayed start off the grid. I've seen him lose a position to Sami. Division 1 drivers having a much better start. We didn't even get too far off the grid before losing half the field last week. Oh, and it got too wide, just about going all the way down between turn 2 and 3. A nice clean start, that's what we want to see. It looks like Christian going for an attempt to pass, but he's just tucked back in. See how tight it is between Christian, Philly and Gallant. Philly's going to be feeling a lot of pressure. He's sandwiched between Gallant and Christian's car. With racing that close, it's not going to take much of a mistake to potentially see things go wrong for all of them. DK's starting to pull away. Creeping that gap up to about half a second, so it's 5 tenths. I was going to say 5 seconds. Not that far ahead just yet. Look at Philly is looking for an opening. He did move off the racing line. He is probing Gallant. Hey, cool boy. Thanks for joining us for the stream. I'm good. How are you? A little bit of a slide. Christian goes in for a big spin. Does he make contact with anyone? I'm not sure where his car is. Actually, no, he's recovered. Has actually gone on there. That may have been a little bit of lag that was going on that we saw. I think it managed to be incident 3. Gallant's copped a slowdown penalty, but he has no room to actually really abide by a slowdown. Just dropping a wheel off on a corner, this is the tiniest bit to get that slowdown. We'll just bring up really quickly. This is an intense battle. He's just copped 2 seconds, so he did cut a fair bit, probably going off rather wide. You saw there with Philly. This track is rather tight with the track limits, which we saw with Division 2. We had a fair few post-race time penalties. Oh no, it's Philly. I think he's just gone for the spin. He's taken some damage. He took critical damage last week. We don't have mechanical failures on, but Philly unfortunately did actually suffer critical damage. The car was terminal. It just wouldn't go, and apparently still in the open wheelers, they are a lot more fragile. Oh, Gallant's gone for the spin in turn 1. He's managed to save it, but it's put off some other cars. I think that may be Sami that has gone for the spin. No, he's up in position 2. That must be Wira's car. I think he might have locked whilst he broke halfway through the corner in anticipation for potential incident avoidance. He's managed to save that car. Luckily, Gallant only drops to 3rd. But Philly has got around, got into the pits. So he didn't be able to actually get the car around for a full lap. Last week at Zolder, it's quite a lengthy track, and these cars, once they've taken heavy damage, they are absolutely horrible to try and drive around for a lap. And then when the cars were heavily damaged before turn 1, that was a long way to get around back into that pit entrance. And then by the time the car got around, apparently it potentially actually blew a gearbox. He's revving the car and it would not move. And look at Gallen, he's now side by side with Sami through turn 9. He's going to have to quickly move over and take that racing line, or he's going to have to shave the speed off and yield the position. Where we saw him go for a slide last lap. Look at DK's last lap of 1:36.622. That's on lap 3. That's very early on and setting a huge quick lap, and that's Wills being out in front. It's usually only seen when you get the advantage in the first couple of laps, tucking in behind another car. It's also very quick. Christian drops off as he goes to look for an opening to get around Sami. Cost him some time. Sami wanting to get back that position from Gallen. Sami's starting to drop back a little bit. May very well have been just through a by slowdown. As I was mentioning before, with just how close the guys were, and with Gallen sitting very tight in amongst them, he did even back off the tiniest little bit for the slowdown. We've actually lost several positions. So it's actually just probably better just to take a 1 or 2 second time penalty. So at the end of the 22 laps, it mightn't be too drastic. In saying that, just from the race going from Division 2, it was very close right to the end. Yeah, they almost crisscross out into a free wide situation on turn 2. Christian seeming to having a lot of pace here, but he's got to try and gauge a move past Sami that's going to put him in a safe position, but then not get boxed in behind Gallen. That could potentially cause an incident. He's just had to back off there and yield. Nearly made wheel contact with the back. Sami's going to be in a difficult position here. Almost free wide. It was almost going to be blocked off down that straight by both Gallen and Christian. Gallen goes to commit for a move. Christian's going to have to probably commit as well, so he can use that momentum to actually cut through. Sami is yielding off. These three actually fighting it out. Big slide. I think Gallen's nose was almost actually amongst the rear suspension of Sami's car. Can't get much closer than that. And then to allow for lag. Christian now moves up into P3. Race leader DK, despite these three behind him battling out, hasn't managed to get that gap away too much. Usually an advantage when they are fighting tooth and nail like that for the race leader to actually be able to pull away a little bit because they're so fixated on trying to get past. I think they are actually just pushing each other quicker and quicker. Then we've got some close battling going on in the midfield. Oh, we've just had Head Farmers spin off, so it's meant Vortex has moved up. Head Farmer, Vortex and Coco Dog were all starting to bunch in and actually even catch up to Wirra. Coco Dog start to close that gap in on Wirra. Cliff quietly plugging away in 5th position. Got a good couple of seconds between himself and Wirra. About 7 seconds between himself and 4th position. He's probably in a good little zone to be able to just focus on getting very consistent quick lap times without feeling too much pressure, but then he's also not going to have much slipstream. Where is close enough that he's going to be getting a tiny advantage of speed on each lap. He's going to have to really maintain some strong pace compared to Wirra to be able to keep him at bay. Of course, he tries to pick at that gap between himself and Christian. Looks like just had lead change again. Barmy made an error. We've got Gallen in position 2. Christian in position 3. Oh, big lock. Will he go into a slide? Oh, Steph in the pits. Looks like she's just had some issues getting out of the pits. I think she may have even just taken some damage to that rear suspension and trying to fix it up. Hopefully that doesn't mean she needs to go around for another lap and get back in and fix that up. Yeah, that is right, Herm. It is great racing to watch. Ah, it's you, Pretender. Yes, thanks for joining us. DK is definitely going to be hard to beat. Current standings at lap 7, we have Steph in 13th position, but she has been in and pit, so she can last out the remainder of the race. It's only 15 laps to deal with, so it's probably going to be fine. Billy in position 12. He did have to come in and pit, he took damage early on. Oh, he's got some shifting issues going on there. I'm not sure if that's something going on with his sim gear or if it's the car itself. I'm pretty sure that's what caused him having to retire in round 1. Suffered terminal issues with the car and then suffered a disconnect. And then scoring no points for the race, which is very unfortunate. He needs to try and make up as many points as he can tonight. We have Doggy Daddy in position 11. Gallen's just gone into the pits. Has he taken damage potentially? Seems to be okay. May just be strategic. Could have even gone off on a spin and just utilised the loss of momentum to bring the car in for that lap. So we have Head Farmer in position 9. Gallen now dropped him down into 8th position. He's going to be able to reclaim several positions by the time the rest of the drivers ahead of him all heading for their mandatory pit. We have Vortex in 7th position, and he's sitting very tight on the tail of Coco Dog. He's looking to get around very soon. Last lap around, Vortex was slightly slower than Coco. But he seems to have picked up a lot more momentum on this lap. Currently lap 9 of 22, so we are nearing the halfway point. Oh, is that Wirra's car that's off track? Wirra or Sami? That was Sami. Rather cautious here. I'm not sure if he may have taken damage Will he use the slower lap to pit in now, get it over and done with? He is. Coco Dog. Oh, big slide from Vortex. He's carrying a lot of speed down through turn 1. He's wanting to get around Coco. Did probe the inside there. Gets him on the hairpin. A bit of a switchback. Forcing Vortex to the outside. Coco Dog's going to have the advantage here coming up through turn 4. Yields that position off. Vortex moves up into 5th. Coco probably just tuck in behind for a little bit. And they will need to pit in. If Coco is planning on pitting not too far away, may not consider playing too defensively at this stage. Generally, Dirty is doing very good. He's out there doing it on a controller. And it isn't an easy feat. Just in doing some testing and whatnot to set up for series. I don't actually usually do it on the wheel. I just jump on and use the controller, and it was not an easy task. I don't know how they do it. Could not get the lap times they're getting on a controller. Whereas in the pits, currently in position 6, now drop down to 7th. Dirty Monkey now heading into the pits, where he gets out and underway, just in front of Gallon. Gallon has been in and pit. Second difference between the two. We now see Mick up into 3rd position. 13.6 seconds away from race lead. And Christian in position 2. And our race leader, DK Rush, he's led for the full 11 laps so far. He hasn't been able to pull away too much. He's only got 2.6 seconds from Christian. If Christian can probably shave off a 10th on that gap, it's going to be enough that he'll start feeling a little bit of a toe. The cars are going to be starting to get a little bit light. Track temperatures may be cooling off slightly, as the race started out in medium cloud cover and it will progress through to heavy cover. And it is just synced to the race, so it is slightly random. It's not exactly always at the halfway point if there's 2 weather slots. Up the timings, but Christian's wearing a 1 second time penalty. Gallon 3 seconds, Vortex 1. Dirty Monkey's got 2, as well as Sami 2 second penalty on, and Philly has got 22 seconds. That would be a hefty speeding in pit lane, costing him 20 seconds there. 2 seconds would have just been from track limits. Sami and Philly battling out for position 11. Christian's managed to get that gap in on DK now to under 2.5 seconds. We're probably going to start seeing that gap close in pretty quickly as especially down along the straights. He's going to be able to pull that car in very quickly. He's going to have to be very cautious about entering into the corners with potentially more speed than what the car has been set up to do. Christian's now got it down to 1.6 seconds. Farmer has moved up into position 5. I don't think he has been in and pitted all yet. Vortex just heads into the pits. Dirty Monkey's just moved up a position, so he's now in P8. Doggy. That he now moves past as well. Dirty Monkey has been in and pit. Ooh, Christian decides to go for the last second pit. He wasn't going to go, but then he saw DK and changed his mind at the last second, so there's going to be a race in pit lane here. Bring up the map, you can see the arrow there is DK. White dot should be Christian's car. Christian just gets out quicker than DK. He's beat him in the pits. Mixed Clips moved up in the race lead, but he will need to come in and serve his mandatory pit. A little bit of a slip there by Christian. Especially if they've gone in and got fresh tyres, it will be a little bit slippery. If they come out with cold tyres, meaning if they don't swap out the rubber, they do lose temperature very quick in these cars. And you can see there, even DK, a little bit slippery. Is that Cocoa Dog that's just gone off? DK runs slightly wide. That's a lot of curb. Oh, and Christian's gone for the spin. Costing him the lead. And in goes Mick. That means DK will be crossing the control line and taking back the lead. I don't think Christian's taken any damage. He stays out on track, so it appears he hasn't taken any damage from that spin. And there we can see Mick coming down pit lane at the moment. Another big slide. That's cost him. Potentially still cold tyres, causing some problems for Christian. That now sees Mickliffe and Wira quickly catch up to Christian. He's quickly dropping positions here. 15 laps in, and it is a very technical track. The drivers do have to work very hard, especially to fight these cars around here, just with how much the car is sliding around. It is a lot of steering control to get it through those turns. It's both physically and mentally fatiguing. It's usually around this section of a race where you start to see a few little errors, especially when they're getting in and doing only stop and goes for their pit stops. They're not stopping in and spending a minute or so on a pit stop getting fuel and tyres where you can actually have that quick little 1 minute reprieve. Reach over, grab a beverage and have a refreshing drink ready to get out and do the rest of the race. They're going non-stop for about 40 minutes. And Gallen's just been into the pits again. That was Mitcliffe and Wirra that just went around turn 1 as Gallen was coming out of the pits. We're seeing a lot of red numbers on standings tout. That's all the drivers that have received a post-race time penalty. Billy is wearing the heaviest of that. It was 22 seconds. Christian's just gone off track again. Mick running in 4th position, Wirra in 3rd, Mick slightly runs wide. That's Gallen behind them, who's currently a lap down. This is on lap 15. We've got 6 laps to go. DK Rush, our leader. About to start lap 17. Coke Dog in position 2. I do believe he has been in and pit. And Mick both been in and pit. And there's Christian. They all racing for position. Got WD up in 7th position. Head Farmer running in 8th. Dummy after being up the front end the first part of the race, down in 9th position. There's a bit of debris around turn 8. Seeing a little bit of glistening. That's where someone's gone off. A little bit loose on the track there. Doggy Daddy into the pits. I do believe he'd already pit, so he may have had some more damage to contend with. Or he's needing to go in for some tyres. The Mick is quickly closing down on Wirra. They've got Gallen behind them also with some quick pace. Here's a lap down on them. He's going to be looking at trying to unlap himself here. He's got a 2-car slipstream. Currently a lot more pace than Mick. And look at Mick goes for an inside move on turn 2. Gets Wirra, but will there be a switchback? Performs a switchback, and then they make contact. Oh, they luckily save it. That could have gone badly. And that's would have jumped up into their throats. Then when they locked, that could have been race ending for them at this stage. They are very lucky to have escaped through that. Army closing down on the Head Farmer. Race leader DK is starting to put a big gap on. While Sami is just starting to bring that gap in. We'll bring up to see who's got the fastest lap of the race. It's a 136s, it's 136.268 by Wira. I think that is the fastest lap of the race. DK Rush of 136.411. Can DK look to try and get the clean sweep, or is he just going to focus on keeping it on the black stuff and surviving these next few laps? It is only an extra 5 points for the fastest lap. And pushing that car and going off track. Definitely probably not going to be worth the difference in 5 points. There's 120 points for the win. He took the pole, so that's also 25 points to him there. His closest competitor for the championship was Sami. Sami is running second in the championship with 125 points. Currently Sami's in 10th position and he's just gone into the pits. He's taken some front end damage. The nose has been torn off. Basically now getting a clean sweep and getting that fastest lap would just be bragging rights at this stage. Probably wouldn't be worth the risk. This is going to be in a very good position to put a strong lead on the championship heading into the third round. We are at Sugo next week. It is a very tight technical track. And things can go wrong very quickly there. Recovered a bit, he's moved up in position 4, he's up around Mick Cliff, is now in 5th, and he's looking to get around Wira. Oh, nearly rubbed the tyres, they would have put both of them into a spin. On the bonnet cam of Christian's car as he's chasing down Wira, going for an outside line. You can see the glistening on the track there, it's a little bit loose. Forced an error out of where he's going to pull up alongside. But he's not going to be in a good position to be able to get into turn 9. He's going to have to pick a different opportunity here. You can see we're playing defensive. We're on lap 21. All he's got to do is just hold him at bay. Big slide. That's cost him. And Christian's going to go for an outside move around the hairpin in turn 2. So the switchback get used between Mick Cliff and we're at that same corner, and then they locked here. Almost squeezing out. At that corner exit, it looked like they would have had equal claims, so if they had done themselves in here, they would have only been hurting themselves. On the second last lap, they don't want to get involved in an incident. And Christian is wearing a 3-second time penalty. That's a safety net for Wira. Doesn't need to fight Christian too much. He probably just good to actually sit in and use the slipstream from Christian. Where his car seemed to have backed off then. I don't know if he missed a gear, but he's quickly dropping off pace. Not sure if he's contending with some technical issues with the car. Doesn't seem to be wanting to stick very nicely. Fuel weight seems to be okay. His tyres could potentially be well worn. He's still looking good for a podium finish. But if he keeps dropping off that pace like that, Nick Cliff's going to be quickly catching up to him from the final lap. DK is our race leader. He's got 28 seconds over Christian. He can take a very casual last lap. There's no point taking any risks here. He's well ahead of Sami. This is going to put a good gap on the championship lead. This will be 2 consecutive wins for DK. Great way to start the year off. Here he comes on approach to the checkers to bring them home. Pulls up just in front of the line. Well done. Congratulations to DK. Second win in the Formula Rookie Cup. Sounds like issues even going on with Christian's car. He's got that 3-second time penalty. He crosses the line in P2, but he's got 3 seconds. Whereas teetering on the 3.1 mark, will he take position 2? No. Not enough to get it. He was so close to being able to take away P2. Oh, he actually had a time penalty himself. So 1 second. So he did get enough gap in there. So Cocodog crosses the line in position 4. So well done to Wira getting that podium finish still. Nick Cliff in position 5. Dirty Monkey showing how to start on the controller. Takes 6th position. And the rest of the field is some pretty good rigs. Be sitting there with the controller and still be able to battle it out with them. Phenomenal work. There we have final race in round 2. So that's Division 1. DK Rush taking victory. And then also on the podium in position 2 is Christian. And then in position 3 is Wira. And then the rest of the standings, we have Coco Dog, Nick Cliff, Dirty Monkey, Vortex, Head Farmer, Doggy Daddy, Gallon, Philly Manili, Sami, and Steph. They will be inviting in our podium finishers. So we've got DK, Christian, and Wira. So invite them in for a chat. And we will also quickly look at the fastest lap. I think it was still the 1:36.268, so that's Wira. So well done, Wira. And just me loading into the menus to add the players to the voice chat. Let's just take a moment. Should see the guys load in a moment. Oh, that's good, Pretender. That they're helping out with setups. All the guys are good for that. They're getting guys loading in now. We should have everyone in. Yes, we've got everyone there. Congratulations on the win, DK. 2 wins in the series. Good way to start it.
Yeah, cheers, JT. It was a good race.
It was very good. It was getting pretty close at a few points.
Yeah, Christian had me worried there for a while when he got me on the pit stop there.
Yeah,
Came out-
seeing his
came out
race
ahead.
in pit lane was quite good and just snuck out.
Yeah, he just
probably
jumped
about
me.
half a car length. So
Yeah, he made up the time
very
coming
tight.
into the pit, so it was good on him.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, congratulations, Christian, on the podium.
Yeah, thank you. Some good racing. Very close. It was getting hairy there, but I made it.
Yeah, and even with a few close calls and runoffs as well, and still to be able to recover and get back up the P2. So well done.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're well done, mate. Good drive.
Yeah,
Some
thanks,
good
JT,
battles
mate.
there you're having, and a very close moment with you and Mick Cliff.
Yeah, mate. Look, I think I spent more time, mate, on the grass, mate, than I did on the actual track, mate. So, but nah,
you
mate,
still,
just awesome
still
to
did
get some
well,
laps
and,
in, mate.
and one of the least amount of time penalties out there still. So did well.
Yeah, mate, that's all that counts, mate. You know, as long as I can sort of stay in the race, mate, that's the main thing.
Yeah, and almost thought you were going to take that position away from Christian right at the end too. So he was just teetering on that 3-second mark, and then you had that 1 second time penalty that just scraped it past. So
Yeah, I
very
got,
close
mate,
to
I got
getting
the slow down come up just at the end, mate, and I slowed right down thinking, you know, it would go away, and then I lost too much time,
Yeah.
mate, and sort of shot myself in the foot. So, but
Yeah.
congrats, DK, mate. Well done, mate.
I
Awesome
appreciate it,
weekend,
mate.
mate.
Yeah, congrats to
Christian,
you and
mate.
Christian
Awesome
on the
Thank
podium.
you.
mate.
Well done.
Yeah,
Good
thanks
drive.
guys. Good racing.
Yeah, good. And we're at fastest lap of the race too, 1:36.268. So very good
Yeah, well, I'll
lap.
take that, mate. Yep.
Yeah, good
Yep.
stuff, bro.
Yeah, very
Too
quick.
easy. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, congratulations,
JT.
guys.
Thanks,
Good
JJ.
luck next
see you,
week
boys.
with
Thanks,
Sugo.
JT, mate. Thanks very
See you
much,
next
No
mate.
week.
worries.
See you,
Yeah.
buddy.
And we have our podium finishers. DK Rush taking his second victory in the Formula Rookie Cup, and Christian taking position 2, and we're in P3. So then we will be back again for more Formula Rookies next Thursday. They will be back same time again, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time for round 3, and we'll be at Sugo. But there is plenty more racing action to come. So this Sunday at 8 a.m. we will have the Bathurst 1000. So hit that follow button so you get notified when we go live with that. There's going to be a great day of racing. And then we'll be back with round 3 of the Pagnian Imports Skip Barber Cup on Monday night at 7:30 p.m. So thanks for tuning in and watching the race. I hope to see you trackside next time.